What you need is not correct.
No way. When they bring from Nigeria,
For the love of the game, right? How many?
And I thank God I go there tomorrow. Say don't doubt me, the head is crazy. That Jehovah take away my sorrow. And I thank God I live today. And I thank God I go there tomorrow. Say don't doubt me, the head is crazy. That Jehovah take away my sorrow. Steady on my grind, my business I demand. Now I'm on me, I demand. Steady on my grind, my business I demand. Alex. Leave it first. Yes, the battery.
Find game. Find game. Point. No, straight.
They get there, but they need press somebody.
Good run.
Because the money I define.
Good play. Fresh on the place. Too much rush of blood.
Guy, chill small, chill small. Kaduna for 5th and 6th playoff to determine the 5th and the 6th team.
Good to have you join us on Sport Update on Trust TV. I'm Adini Ajishafe. Time to run through the world of sport again as we give you an update. And quickly, we start with Nigerian sport. Really, for a while, when we look at Nigerian sport, promoting it has been a bit too low. But right now, the Sport Authority of Nigeria, Swan, meeting with the newly appointed Minister of Sport Development, they have to partner because right now, the Sport Minister is ready to partner Swan in developing sports in Nigeria. The new president of Swan, Benjamin Isaiah, meeting with the Minister of Sport Development, John Eno, where they have an agreement that you just have to find a way to work together. The men of the fourth realm just have to push this particular department or sector. And when it comes to sport, really, they need to push it. They need to promote Nigerian sport. If you look at how popular the EPL is right now, if you look at how popular La Liga is, Bundesliga, and all other sport competition abroad, it's because one pressman out there is pushing it in all mainframe of journalism. But right now, when it comes to Nigerian sport, Sport Authority of Nigeria will be working hand in hand with the Ministry of Sport Development to see how they can promote sport in Nigeria to get it better to the enviable height it used to be. And we just have to do something because we need to promote our own. The MPFL will be starting very soon. Other sporting activities across different categories when it comes to sport, maybe athletics, taekwondo, judo, all sports must be at least promoted through the media, and that has to be done well, according to the Minister of Sport Development, John Eno. That's the first story we are looking at, alongside Nazir Jamajo. Nazir Jamajo is joining us from Kaduna. Nazir, good to have you on the show. So we're actually talking about Minister of Sport Development saying he will partner with Swan, Sport Authority of Nigeria, to see how they can at least develop sport in Nigeria. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a very good one. You know, when it comes to the Swan, the Sport Writers Association is very important because writing and promoting, topics about sports is very important for people to know what really is happening. The PR is very important. That is why the leagues, just like you said, the La Liga, Premier League are ahead of us because we don't have that. But this partnership, I hope that is going to work out for both sides and especially for the sports entirely in Nigeria, because when we get to promote ourselves, that is when the world is just going to know. And I hope that the social media accounts will start working when it comes to this, kind of sports. That will promote what is really going down in Nigeria concerning sports, the footballing aspect, the athletics, everything will be, at the level that we expect it to be if we get to publicize it and everybody will get to know what really is happening deep down.
And really, if you look at Nigerian sports, at times it could be maybe a grassroots sports competition, it could be national, it could be state, but at least if a sports journalist actually report that, before you know it, it goes viral, and really something must be done to make sure Nigerian sport is, because you see a lot of people, they don't even know about anything about Nigerian sport. They can tell you everything about English football, they can tell you everything about La Liga, Bundesliga. Ask them to mention one Nigerian club. They don't even know. In fact, they don't want to know just because of the fact that they don't really know much about it. But right now, if this is actually done by having that particular alignment between Ministry of Sport Development and sports writers, where they work hand in hand to promote any sport, be it local, be it national, continental, or intercontinental, Nigerian sport will really be a sellable one, because we need to push it for people to know that things are happening. Look at our music. Now, a lot of international music artists want to collaborate with Nigerian artists because they've seen that, okay, these guys, they have the talent. And one way or the other, they pushed it. The entertainment needs and all that, the performance. Now, we have a lot of talents in Nigeria. We also need to push our own. Talking about sport journalism must get better. Nazir.
Yeah, we do. Just like you said, we have to, have these kind of things in people's faces because they need to see it no matter what. That is why the, English football, the foreign leagues are ahead of us, because even if you don't like it, when you go out on social media, you get to see how active their accounts are. They post almost everything. But in Nigeria, we don't do that. And that is one aspect that we need to improve on so that everybody can get to see what really is happening in this country, especially for football. The Nigeria Professional Football League, we have to bring it, to the social media more and more. The Twitters, the Instagram accounts, the Facebook accounts, all of them need to be active and they need to be consistent. They need to bring updates on what is happening on the leagues out there. And also for the other athletics, departments, they need to be active. There should be an account that gives update on everything that is happening over the course of the tournaments that are going down. Maybe is it local, maybe the foreign tournaments, everything that is happening, should be reported on those social media accounts. And I think that is why the foreigners are so ahead of us when it comes to these kind of things. The Nigeria Professional Football League, so many things, just like you said, so many people cannot tell you what really is happening when it comes to the Nigeria Professional Football League. It's because we don't publicize it. Nobody comes on social media and tell you that this is what is happening in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Sometimes you even struggle to get results on matches that are going down, especially when it comes to the NNL, the NLO. You don't get those results very easily. You have to go deep down and search before you get them. But when you get to publicize them, you make it easy for everyone to get to know what is happening. I think it's going to help for people in this country to actually have interest when it comes to watching the local leagues. For me, I enjoy watching Wiki Tourist whenever I'm in Bauchi, because when I go into that stadium, the atmosphere is something that makes me feel like, yes, I am part of this thing that I used to watch on TV. It gives me that mojo, it gives me that confidence and that energy to go to the stadium and watch Wiki Tourist play. There is a section of fans in Bauchi State that the real, just like at Manchester United, you have the Stretford end. At Liverpool, you have the Cup end. So in Bauchi, that is our end, where we sit, where the music is going down, where they will hit drums and motivate the players to play. And it is beautiful when you go there and see it.
A good one there. We really need to promote our own sports, and sports writers, we just have to work in alignment with the sports ministry to see how we can promote our sport. You need to sell it out there. Really, we have the talent and we just have to promote our own sport for the people to know that we are into different sports, and the talents that we have is enough to push out, and we have a lot of recognition there. Just to take you around the world of that particular stories there. Now, quickly, let's look at the HFN, Handball Federation of Nigeria. HFN invites 18 players for African Women Youth Handball Championship that will be coming up in Tunisia, and that will be in a couple of days. By September, they will be going to Tunisia. They'll be camping over there in Lagos at Roe Park in Yaba, Lagos. HFN, Handball Federation of Nigeria, inviting 18 players for African Women Youth Handball Championship. Let's look at the 18 players invited by HFN. You have Esther Matthew, who plays for Seasider Babes, alongside Taiwo Babatunde, Kende Babatunde, who are both twins and right now playing handball as teenagers. A good one there. We also look at Precious Samuel of Rima Queens, Prudence Samuel, I'm sure they are of the same parent too, Rima Queens, Lucy Onyekwere, Rima Queens, Rahima Bello, Munira Kasimo, Amina Mohammed, also from Rima Queens of Sokoto there, Chidera Ogbusimba of Rima Queens, Monica Okpara, also of the same club, Amarachi Okparago, who play for Imo Grasshopper from Imo State, Vera John, Bayelsa Queens, Joan Okolo, who play for Delta Force, Damilola Akinlade, Emore Emamuzo, Blessing Igbinedion, also of Delta Force, while Cynthia Terfa from Defender Babes, that's for Civil Defense Handball team. These are the 18 players that will be called to camp by the Handball Federation of Nigeria. They will be in camp till September 9 or 16 there before they jet out to Tunisia by the time the final list is released. But it's 18, they'll be fighting hard to see who stays on to qualify to be in the group, rather in the list that will finally move to Tunisia to represent Nigeria. Hopefully they will do us proud there at the Women Youth Handball Championship slated for Tunisia. wishing them all the best there. And quickly, we move away from there. A Nigerian who actually is a boxer, he has been winning all his fights over there in Japan. But this time around, for the first time in his career, the one they call Scorpion, Ridwan Scorpion, lost out. Ridwan Scorpion, Oyekola suffered first defeat to Keisuke Matsumoto. Matsumoto of Japan actually right now has put a dent on the career of Nigerian boxer Ridwan Scorpion Oyekola, who fought hard. They actually went 12 rounds, but he lost out on at least the count of the judges' approval there of 117, 111. He fought hard in all the set, but he couldn't win it. 12-round fight, but he lost out to Keisuke Matsumoto of Japan. Well, Oyekola, the one they call the Scorpion, have really done when it comes to this career in boxing. But this time around, he lost out for the first time in his career. Well, Jamal Joe, a Nigerian boxer who has been boxing all these years, but for the first time now, his career got a 1-0. He lost out against Japanese. If you want to look at it, you want to believe that, oh, the Nigerian should win, but somehow he couldn't go the distance. He actually went the 12th round, but he lost out on count. That fight is a painful one for Oyekola Jamajo.
Yeah, it is a painful one for him because you cannot win and win almost all the time. No, that is never going to be possible. In sports, you need to understand that today you might win and win tomorrow, but next tomorrow you might go ahead and get beaten. And that is exactly what happened with Ridwan, the Scorpion. So I think for me, I feel like these kind of moments are the ones that define who an athlete is or who a player is, because when you lost games, that is when people wait to see your reaction. And I think this guy's reaction at the moment is going to be very important for himself, because it's not everybody that can pick up himself and go ahead and start, and bounce back immediately and continue to win games. That is what I'm going to put my eyes on when it comes to the Scorpion at the moment, because this kind of moments are the ones that define who an athlete is. I hope that he picks himself up and go ahead and continue doing what is required from him. But, this kind of losses happen, and he has to cope with that and needs to understand that you cannot win all the time in sports.
Okay, good one there for Scorpion Oyekola. Well, it has actually another time for him to pick up the pieces and do well when it comes to boxing. He's in Japan representing Nigeria there. We wish him all the best for Scorpion Oyekola there. Quickly, let's have a glimpse at the third round of the EFL Cup that will be coming up. Teams have qualified, some played, and now let's quickly look at the fixtures that will be coming up. The like of Chelsea will be taking on Brighton, Salford City against Burnley, Bournemouth against Stoke City, Port Vale against Salting United. You have Manchester United, they will be facing Crystal Palace, big one there. Everton away to Aston Villa, Exeter City against Luton Town, while Wolverhampton Wanderers will be facing Ipswich Town in their own encounter. Liverpool is a battle of the L team against Leicester City, where you have Nigeria, Iheanacho and Ndidi there. Newcastle United, they play against Manchester City. Fulham, Norwich, you have Fulham against Norwich City there, and you have Chelsea against Brighton. Well, a match, you can pick out Newcastle, Man City, a tough one there. If you look at it, Nazir, that's like you are playing in the English Premier League.
Yes, exactly. Because nowadays, all of these teams don't take these kind of competitions, very lightly. Back in the days, sometimes these kind of competitions are being rated as dead rubber games just to give minutes to fringe players in your team. But nowadays, everybody wants to win this kind of tournament, especially when it comes to the Carabao Cup, that the finals of the tournament is being played in February. So that gives you the chance to win a trophy before anyone and have some confidence going forward, which I think over the last couple of years, Pep Guardiola at Manchester City has used the Carabao Cup so many times to motivate his players going forward, so that by the time that the business end of the season comes around, the players are very confident after winning the Carabao Cup that they'll go out and deliver when it matters the most. So I think playing Newcastle United at this time for Manchester City is going to be tough, because even Newcastle United wants to win a trophy now because of the amount of money the owners have invested. Eddie Howe would love to have a trophy that you present to the owners of the club and say, look, I'm doing something over here, you guys should be noticing. But, for City, it is just going to be like on a normal day, they can go ahead and give a chance for some of their players to play, because City have got some ridiculous number of quality in their team that whenever they play, even the French players, get to understand him. You feel like, yes, It is their first team. They should be winning these games. But I would love to see how these games pan out. Already, Manchester City have beaten Newcastle United this season. So maybe a chance for Newcastle to respond to what City have given them in the league.
A big one there, looking at the third round of English Football League that will be coming on. Just to give you update on that. Now we quickly look at two stories in the world of transfer. Well, Chelsea players are on the move. Another one that has to do with Callum Odoi. Now, Nottingham Forest are really keen. They are closing the gap on the winger Callum Hudson-Odoi there. Nottingham Forest closing on winger Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea, from the way it is. And Nottingham Forest are really knocking at the door of different players, trying to see a rush of signing players that could join them. Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea to Nottingham Forest. Jamajo, a big one for Hudson.
Yeah, it is a big one for him because he has struggled also over the course of the years since his debut at Chelsea. Bayern Munich came in, they wanted him, a couple of years ago, but the move didn't happen. And after that, he continued to struggle at Chelsea, and then he made the move to Bayer Leverkusen, where I think he has enjoyed a little bit of football over there. But right now, it seems like Nottingham Forest are the one coming in to give him a chance to play in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest have signed so many players over the course of the years, and especially after their, Premier League debut last year, after they returned to the Premier League, and right now they're after Callum Hudson-Odoi. They have got a lot of players in their department, so maybe a big chance for Hudson-Odoi to go into the team and have a couple of minutes in the Premier League and show Chelsea what he can do. I think it is going to work out for him if he really works out over there, because it is a big chance. It is a team that is at the moment is in the transition. That is why they are signing so many players, just like Chelsea.
Well, from the way it is right now, Al Ittihad of Saudi Arabia seems not to be resting on getting players from Liverpool, as right now, as they are eyeing Mo Salah, they are also eyeing defender Ibrahima Konate. Right now, news reaching us says the coach, Jurgen Klopp, is not happy for the fact that the amount Al Ittihad are offering for Mo Salah, £118 million, could tempt Liverpool hierarchy to accept. And now they are coming for Ibrahima Konate. What has Liverpool done to Al Ittihad, Jamajo?
Well, I don't have any idea, to be honest with you. I don't really have any idea. It's just that you want to take the players away from them. They have already taken, Mohamed Salah. They want him no matter what. They are willing to pay, no matter how much it will cost them to have Mohamed Salah. They are also after Joe Gomez and now Ibrahima Konate. Is it that they want to sign all of the players that Liverpool have got? Only them knows. But to be honest with you, they are bringing so many holes into that Liverpool team with the way things have happened over the course of the years. Jurgen Klopp will have to be concerned, because he knows if all of these players get to go, he doesn't have enough time to replace them. The transfer window in Saudi Arabia will last up until September the 20th. But we are on the verge of the closure of transfer window in Europe. That is why he has to be concerned. And a player like Mohamed Salah, who is very, very important to that Liverpool team, when you take him out of the team, where are the goals going to come from? Although they have got players like Luis Diaz, players like Diego Jota are there, Darwin Núñez, who came off the bench to score 2 goals against Newcastle United. But Mohamed Salah is a valuable asset in your team whenever you have him, a player who has delivered in the last 5 years. You not love to dust in any moment, and you don't have enough time to replace him. Ibrahima Konate also, if he goes, with the way Liverpool are struggling defensively, it's going to be difficult for them to replace him. They don't have enough time. And even in the market, when you look at it right now, how many defenders are there to do exactly the same thing that Ibrahima Konate is doing? Endo Wataru has joined, but he's also yet to settle. Even Joe Gomez, if he goes, who is it that they are going to bring right now in next to no time? Because we don't have time in the window for them to come and replace him.
So we just have to go now. Our time is off, Jamajo. Thank you so much. We just have to go now. Al Ittihad, Liverpool. That's a big wall there. Thank you so much for joining us from Kaduna, Nazir.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
A good one. Right now, just have to wrap it up on the show. Sport Update on Trust TV. I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.